as we learn to build ourselves spiritually, we also need to build ourselves physically, and financially, emotionally, socially, and in so many other ways. And so if you are here, take your seat and don't go anywhere. Make sure that you are sharing this video to your friends. Tag them, as a matter of fact. Let them come and listen. They should come share their thoughts and their opinions so that we can all grow together. You know, one thing I have realized is that for some reason, Christians, we have accepted financial mediocrity to be the order of the day. We have some way, somehow allowed ourselves to be deceived by the fact that we claim that Jesus said that what you can't serve God and money. And Paul also talked about the fact that the love of money is the root of all evil. And so because of some of these things, I think that we try our possible best to shy away from discussions that pertain to money and being able to make it and managing that. And it is wrong. Do you know why? Because Solomon did say that the blessing of God makes one rich and he adds no sorrow to it. So technically, if the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, we must understand that it is ours for the taking, and not for us to sit at somewhere and be content that the unbelievers should make all the money and use it to fund ungodly things. And then we'll be in the church crying, oh, we need money, we need to do fundraising and all that. And sometimes it's so pitiful. Some of the things that make them their way into the news when you hear about them, uh, pastors complain about their income and their pension and all those things. I'm like, okay, it's good. It's good. Like the passion and the drive to do God's work. And seriously, as I sit here, I have a lot of drive to do God's work, to win souls and all those things. But we also need to understand that you cannot do all of that if you don't have much. In fact, an empty pocket cannot do much. Because let's go out, let's go win souls, let's go win souls, let's bring them to Christ. That noise we have been making, no? What you need to understand is that we need to be able to maintain those souls that we are going out there to win. So it does not make any sense to go out there, win the souls, bring them to the church, and their situation becomes worse off. That is the reason why people would not want to come to church. Some unbelievers, they feel there is nothing good about even our demeanor, the way we present ourselves in going to win the soul. We make it look like, okay, come and be miserable with us. And you know, if you go and present such a story to somebody, how will they be interested in coming to serve the God that you are serving, that you think you are claiming you found so much joy and all this revelation in the God that you are serving, and so people should come and suffer with you? No. So there's the time, invite your believer friends. They should come and listen. Now today we are using our own Bible. In fact, what Jesus himself, how he talked about how we have to go about money and all that. So we want to educate ourselves, learn a thing or two. So I'm waiting on. Keep sharing and calling them to come. Tell them they should come and learn. Jesus said they should come and learn. It's not only about Jesus loves you, for God so loved the world. Yes, it's good. But when you bring the people from God so loving them, if the point is bringing them to come and suffer, then is that God's love? Is God's love demonstrated in only suffering? No, of course not. So let's not try and use the Bible to justify our own fears and want to be mediocre in society. All right. So today, as you can see from our topic, we are talking about biblical principles about money management. Biblical principles. Our Bible talks about everything. See, if you ever want a book to read on any topic in this world, pick a Bible. This one, I'm not kidding you. Whatever topic you want to read about, including sex, your go-to manual is the Bible. And I kid you not. So make sure that whoever you are, you can be an atheist. Buy yourself a Bible and start reading it. Because in this book are all the nuggets. It covers every aspect of human life, including money. And so today we'll look at a few things, perhaps just a few things. And I also want to hear what you have to say. I can see some comments pouring in. Excited to see you. I'm also excited to see you. I will not accept financial mediocrity. It's high time Christians get to be on Forbes list. I can't wait. Can't wait that we would start mentioning the top 10, top 100 richest people in the world, and the first 70 are all Christians. I can't wait. Or perhaps even, can I give you a secret? In my opinion, all the 100 should be believers because it is ours for the taking. So an empty pocket cannot do much. Let's go. Enwane money matters. All right, biblical principles about money management. Yes. All right. So we'll just read something from Matthew chapter 25. I'll read from verse 14. There's a very popular verse that a lot of you, if you're a believer, if you've gone to church, you've been to Sunday school, you must have heard the story before. And always we interpret it in a certain way, which is good, but let's see. So Matthew 25, I'll read from verse 14 until I stop, maybe somewhere 30. So I'll read quickly. For it will be like a man going on a journey. Please, I have a Bible. It's not from my head. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also who had the 2 talents came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Come on, that must be cruel. If you and I, and let me say, when you read the Bible, these are written in red, which means that they are directly quoted from Jesus Christ. They are words that Jesus Christ put that down. So Jesus is saying that, and you're like, come on, but the man gave him back his money. At least he didn't spend it, he didn't waste it. He still gave the money back to him. But he's still saying, you are wicked and slothful. Very interesting reading. Now, you see, the point here is we always wonder why the rich keeps getting richer and the poor keeps getting poorer. And the simple answer to that question is right here, what Jesus has said. That take the one from him and give to he who has 10. Because he who has more will be given. And to him who doesn't, even the little he has will be taken from him. You see, I've always said and maintained this position that if all the wealth in the world, let's say all the wealth in the world is about 100 trillion or more than that, I'm just example sake. If we collected all that money, we said that, oh, tomorrow the whole world will come together, one world order. And so we are redistributing all the wealth among all people. Let's do it. And I can guarantee you, in less than 1 year, the people who are billionaires now, they will still become billionaires. And the people who are poor now, they will still become poor. So you see, poverty itself is not more about how much is in your pocket, but it is about a mentality. It's a way of thinking, such that if you have the poverty mentality, like this servant who received 1 talent, the problem is not about the talent, it was about his mentality. If you have that mentality, if even they took all the money of Elon Musk together with Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates plus Warren Buffett and what is his name? This Mark Cuban, and if they took all these billionaires' money and gave it to you, you will still end up broke because it's the mindset. It's a mindset. The 2 people who received 5 and 2, they had a completely different mindset from the one who received 1. And this is the problem we have as Christians. Poverty has become a doctrine. So we go to church and pride ourselves in the reason why it's okay to be poor. And I will go and quote the Beatitude. Oh, Jesus said, in Matthew chapter 5, blessed are the poor in spirit. He didn't say poor in pocket. Hello. He said poor in spirit, not poor in pocket. And we use it to make it look glorify poverty when it's actually wrong. And so, biblical principle to managing money. Now, the first principle here is to understand that you are a steward. you first need to understand that you are a steward. You don't have ownership of anything. Everything you have been entrusted by God to take care of it. When you see it as a steward, you will take good care of it. Imagine if you bought your own car, the way you handle it can be different. You can, well, I've paid for it. It doesn't matter. If even I smash it somewhere, it is my own. But if you went to borrow that money, if I gave you my car, that, oh, take it to this place and come, the way you would handle that car would be different because you would take good care of it. So that is the first secret we need to understand. We have ownership of nothing. We are stewards who will give account. Our responsibility is to take good care of whatever is in our possession because we are going to render an account of that. Now, those of you who think that that one talent that was given to the servant was small, it wasn't small. I remember doing a YouTube video on that talent conversion where I converted the whole one talent to modern day dollar equivalent. And I think from the top of my mind, I remember how much it was. I think it was about $347,000 now. So when you pick that talent that Jesus is talking about here, it is equivalent to $347,000 now. There were some coins, but I remember that figure very well. So it wasn't small. Usually when we look at this, we have looked at talent as the skill or what I can do in the house of God. When you go to church, that's what your pastor tells you, that the talent, we actually call ourselves, oh, I'm talented. This is my talent. Not to forget talented kids. Talent is not just ability. Talent is a unit of measurement. It was used to quantify money in those days. So like in our days where we have hundreds, we have 1,000, we have 1,000,000, we have billions, we have trillions and quadrillions and whatever, zillions and all those things. Talent was in that form. Talent is not that's just the skill. I'm talented singer. No. That's what your pastor wants you to know because he doesn't know. Talent is a unit. They were using it to quantify money. So when you do the conversion, you can convert all the way from denarii to shekel to minas and all the way to talent. So it was money. Although we can make all those inferences to mean all our pastors have been telling us, but because they don't know jack about money, they can't tell us the truth that it was money Jesus was talking about. Forget about that. Anyway, so that amount was over $300,000. $300,000. Look at a broke man who has received $300,000 and you go and dig the ground and put that money there. Can you imagine? If I gave you $300,000 today, and all you can do is to go and dig the ground or go and open Susu box and put the $300,000 inside there and cover it and then wait for me to come so that you take it and give it to me, then seriously, you need to be caned before they will even take the money from you, because that can do a lot, actually. It can. So let's now that we have cleared the air that there's money we are talking about and it's a lot of money, first make sure that you understand the concept of stewardship. Now, secondly, let's look. We are using the guy who buried the money as a case study. I will read what he said again. He also, the verse 24, Matthew 25:24. He also who had received the one talent came forward saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. You see arrogance right there. You see, you are hearing with pride. And that is what we see. A lot of people, the reason why they cannot seem to come out of where they are is because they are filled with too much pride. You are there insulting rich person. Oh, leave these people. They think they are somebody. That's what this guy was saying here. You go and tell your master that what? I knew you to be a hard man. Imagine somebody coming to tell you that you are a hard man and you reap where you did not sow. For someone to reap where they did not sow means they are a thief. Isn't that what it's supposed to mean? Is it not thieves that reap where they have not sown? Because that is what Solomon says. So if the man has given you this much, and then he comes and you are telling him that, oh, you cry, I know you are too difficult. And you cry, you are too crooked and fraudulent. And so because I didn't want to have any problems, I went to hide your money. Oh, you reap where you did not sow and gather where you scattered no seed. Hey, so this man is is difficult. He's a thief and he's also a litigant. Obi Ochemanso, because if you gather where you have sown no seed, he's a litigant. See how this poor man is describing the master. And that's how a lot of us, you see, the attitude. With that attitude, you will never become rich. When all you see about people who are succeeding and progressing financially is the evil. Oh, these people, don't mind them. They are all thieves. It is bribe. It is this. Unless you don't see a rich pastor. Isn't it people's tithes? As for these people, they are thieves. So this is all that we do. We are always attacking people instead of learning from them. Instead of learning, we are like, me, by the grace of God, I'm okay. Oh, I am very, very okay. This has been our story. We are like this man. Please repent and humble yourself. My friend B, who in Ghana, he used to say that Sikampe rough. I don't know how to say that in English, but money doesn't like rough. Rough, and I don't know, is it like arrogance or something? But it's true. Sikampe rough. You need to humble yourself to learn. And he wasn't ready to do that. And a lot of us, we justify our lack of understanding with all the biblical way. Oh, don't worry. Bible class says you can't serve God and money. Be there. You will go to heaven. And then you go and see that rich man you were criticizing. And God will say that, oh, see you, you were able to win 1,000 souls. And you'll be there asking yourself, how did he win those souls? This man, I was the one standing outside with a megaphone speaking. But you see, you are standing outside speaking, but because of the way you looked, people were not even attracted to come and listen to the word of God. But this guy was signing checks and sending missionaries abroad. And he will be there receiving the well done, and you'll be there with all your pride without even a cockroach having been won. So humility, principle, humility, humility. And then gratitude. Humility followed by gratitude. You see, instead of having this negative attitude towards the master, he should have been grateful that the man has given him this to manage. But he wasn't grateful. Ungratefulness. ungratefulness, ingratitude. A lot of people, especially in our African community, we have all advanced degrees, and our advanced degrees, they are MBA and PhDs. So a lot of us, we have MBAs, and then many of us, many more have PhDs. Not the one we study in school. MBA, me buy, and then PhDs pull him down. So that has been our attitude. So we cannot appreciate the little that we have been blessed with. See, if you see $1,000 as a blessing, you'll be more grateful. And you see, whatever you appreciate, you get more. Now, I'll tell you something. If I give if two people are standing there, and randomly I came and I gave them, each of them, $50. Okay, you take 50, you take 50. Now, the moment I give them the 50, I am looking at their demeanor, how they received it. If one received it and like, okay, thank you, and then they passed somewhere and they went, and then the other one, oh my God, you gave me 50. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. Now, this is common sense. Tomorrow, if I want someone to give $1,000 to, who will I go to? Of course, the one who showed gratitude. Even Jesus, when he healed 10 people and one person came back, he said that, were there not 10 people that I healed? How come you are the only one who came? And he did what? He blessed him more. So gratitude is the secret for multiplication. You must be grateful for what you have. If you are not grateful for what you have, there's no way you can multiply it. There's no way you can manage something you are not grateful for. It's as simple as that. Marry a woman. If you are not grateful for that woman, there's no way you can manage her well. Every day you will abuse the person. Oh, you cry, what? What good is in this person? So that gratitude is a very important thing. Learn to appreciate everything that God gives you. Gratitude. I am the one that came back to say thank you, Lord. So be that one who came back to say thank you. Now, verse 25, he says, I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. So fear is the number one killer of people achieving their dreams. Fear. It is crippling people and making people poorer and poorer every day because of fear. Hey, this thing is risky. Oh, how can I do? Hey, what if they run away with my money? You see, a poor man can find 1,000 reasons to justify their fears. But you see, there is a principle. The higher the risk, the greater the reward. So if you need to be able to manage your money, whilst you are trying to keep your risk minimal, you still need to expose yourself to some risk. The fear of losing things is the one thing and one reason why people do not achieve their dreams. What if I fail? I really want to do this. Oh, some people, they have been bathroom singers since they were born. When they are in the bathroom and they are singing, oh, angels are descending. But ask them to go and do it in front of somebody. Hey, no. What if what if every day they are asking themselves, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if? No. But, the people who make it work, They are the ones who don't use the word can't. So the last time I was telling my wife, don't ever use the word can't, at least not to my hearing. You can say it to yourself, but don't ever mention it into my ears. That word is deleted from my dictionary. Cancel it. In fact, tear that page off your dictionary. Just because there is can't, remove that whole page. Because it is not good. Until you dare something, you will never see the reward. And a lot of us people, we need to take the risk. Rich people, they are the people who risk. Now, the thing about risk is that you will lose some and you will win some. It's as simple as that. Try and lose than to sit there doing nothing. Because if you try it with faith, the chances that you will win are higher. I'm not saying go and stake lottery. Those ones, it's not a reasonable risk. You know that this thing, your chance is 1 out of 1,000. But maybe there is a business God has laid on your heart. There's an opportunity you have seen, an untapped field. Maybe there's this investment. But out of your fear, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do this? Keep sitting down asking yourself, what if? The people who don't ask themselves, what if, they would say, how can I do this? How do I do it? So you see, instead of asking, I can't, or saying I can't, or what if, yours is, how do I do this? So the one is looking for opportunity or avenue to execute, but the other is killing your motivation. So always use optimistic language, trying to find reasons how you're going to go about something. You're going to go about, because there is always a way. If there is one thing I have realized, there is always a way. But some of you, you don't want to lose even small, and that is stingy. It's only stingy people who don't want to lose anything. Because in life, you lose something to gain something. Even Jesus Christ, he says that if any man wants to follow me, he must deny himself. So even then, you have lost something. You have to give up something. There is always an exchange. There is no way you will receive something without an exchange. There is always an exchange. Are you ready to trade in to get more? That is the most important question. So, as they used to say in Akan, "Usura wini." If you are afraid, winners, they don't win. Fearful people, they don't win. And you won't win anything. Forget about the fear. I was afraid and went to hide your talent. I was afraid and went to hide. And I've already told you that keeping a savings account is a mistake. Have an emergency savings, but don't put all your money there. It's a waste of time, a very big mistake. Because of all the money that is being pumped into the system, if your safest haven is to save, I bet you that money you think you are saving, it will amount to nothing shortly. But invest it in something liquid, something that doesn't lose its value. If you like, go and use it to buy gold. You are better off, see, if that money can buy gold bar, you are better off going to use the money to go and buy a gold bar and keeping that gold bar than keeping those papers. Because the money is a paper. It is paper. That money you have stacked in the susu box, it's paper. We can go and sleep and wake up, and then President Biden will come and say that we are changing the mode of exchange from that paper note to, let's say, Bitcoin or another exchange medium. So don't sit so proudly on that. When they come and say that Elon Musk is worth $150 billion, do you think he has $150 billion sitting in his account? Of course not. I can tell you for a fact that out of that 150 billion, he won't have even up to 1 million sitting down in cash. No, they don't do that. They are all in investments. So when they take his shares in Tesla, his shares in SpaceX, and like his real estate and every other thing, his investment in Bitcoin, when they put all of it together, it is equal to 150 billion. It doesn't mean he has 150 billion dollars, dollars are 150 billion lying in his room. Do you think Roberts will let him sleep? Jeff Bezos, 190 something, maybe he has even crossed the 200 billion. I'm not sure yet. But it is all because of his investments in Amazon and all those places. So they are investments. They are not money sitting down. So don't sit on the money. Use it to buy something. If you have too much money that you don't know what to do with it, go and use it to buy gold bar. And then if you're afraid to keep it in your house, go to the bank. They have secret safe. A lot of good banks, they all have safes there. You can go and use that money to buy a gold bar. Go and buy a safe there in the bank and keep it there. Gold will never lose its value, no matter what happens. As the value of the currency depreciates, that mineral, it will keep on appreciating in value. So you need to think. This is what this guy did not do. Because as a matter of fact, that one talent, we are not aware how long the master stayed. But at the time the master came, the one talent was no longer one talent. You see, this is another thing about ignorance and arrogance. Sometimes you think that you know something, but as a matter of fact, you don't. This guy did not know. And he proved his ignorance right here in the text. So I was afraid and I went to and hid your talent in the ground. Here, have what is yours. Proudly coming to say, have what is yours. Should have slapped him before taking that money from him. Because at that point, that one talent was no longer one talent. It was less than a talent. Do you know why? There is inflation. Because of inflation, when the man gave him one talent, it was how many years ago? At that point, the man came. It is no longer one talent. So if I give you $100 today, that's why banks give you loan with interest. It's because of inflation. So if you did not understand the reason why banks, when you go to a bank to take a loan, they will put interest on it. If you go to the car dealership that you want to buy a car on payment, they put some interest, APR, annual percentage rate. It is to make sure they are taking care of inflation. So to make sure that at the end of the day, in how many years are you going to finish paying? 5 years. Now you went and then they told you the car you want to buy is $30. What they need to do is that they need to calculate. You want to have it for 5 years. So they need to calculate in the next 5 years, how much will $30 be worth? And I'm not ready to go into the rudiments of finance with you, but I can give you a few pointers. Now, if you've studied anything about finance, we have two important things. If you don't understand anything in finance, you need to understand two things: future value and present value. Future value and present value. So if they are giving you $30,000 today, they need to calculate the future value of $30,000. So for how long are you going to have to pay this money to them? they need to calculate and see in 5 years, how much will this be worth? So you pick the principal, and then there is a whole formula. I can't, if I say it with my mouth, cry, you won't understand. But you take into account the interest rate, and you take it to an exponent and all that to get the future value. So before they give you that interest rate, they would have done that calculation. You think they just tell you that, oh, it's 4% interest. No, they have calculated to know that within 5 years that you would pay the amount, every year the value of the money will reduce by, let's say, 1%. If inflation is 1%, they know that every year is going to reduce by 1%. So, okay, as a company, we can put on, let's say, 2%, so that our profit will be the additional 1%. And then they work all of it and put it there. So you are paying the future value of the $30,000. So when the master came, he did that same future value calculation. Although the Bible does not say it, but that's how I know, because the guy had cheated the master. When he did when he discounted the money to that point, he realized that it is no longer that value. So I gave you 30,000, and then when I came, you went to hide that 30,000. Now, by the time I came, let me explain this in a layman's understanding. Let's say at the time I was giving you this money, I was let me use car, or a car. And then, no, car cry is not the good. Let me use a house. Let's say in my area, a 3-bedroom house, hypothetically, let's say it's $200,000. At the time I'm giving you that money to work with it, that money could have bought a 2-bedroom house, which I could have rented with it. And then I didn't. I gave you that money. Now, if I go and then 10 years later, I come back, I'm expecting that the value of the $200,000 I gave to you should be able to buy that same house in that same neighborhood. I believe the understanding is becoming clear. So if I come back after 5 years and the money, the $200,000 I gave to you, maybe you've grown it to maybe 201,000. So it cannot, and the house has appreciated to 300,000. I have lost money because the money, that paper represented the value of a house. And as at the time I came, the value of the house has appreciated more than the money I gave to you. So in essence, you have lost money. That is what time value of money means. So this poor man, poor arrogant man here, thought that he was doing the master a favor by giving him back his complete amount, but he had actually cheated him by maybe some 30%, because the thing the 1 talent could have done at the time he gave to him, now it cannot do that. That is the time value of money. So hiding it, that's why he talks about he should have given it to the bankers. The bankers here, no, he did not say savings, so because by hiding it, that's saving. He said you should have given it to the bankers. Some other versions will tell you that you should have given it to the money exchangers. So at least they would have traded with it. And when I come, did you hear him mention interest? This one is not me saying no. Verse 25 there now, 27. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming, I should have received what was my own with interest. With interest. So always make sure that interest, whatever you are investing in, invest in something that grows. Not simple interest, but something that can compound. Compounding effect. Make sure that it is growing with interest. This is what the man refused to do. And then he said, take away from him and give to the one who had the 10, and cast the worthless servant. See how he's describing him. Worthless. Into the outer darkness. Outer darkness. Poverty is outer darkness. In that place, there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Is that true? Yes. There is weeping. When you are poor, you can't sleep. Some people think that rich men don't sleep. It's a lie. Some of them, they sleep and sleep cry is not beautiful again. So if you are there thinking that by making money, you can't sleep, it's a lie. But here, if you are rather poor, oh, I have heard and listened to so many people who are rich. And each one of them will tell you, I have been poor before, and I am here. If you ask me to choose, I will always choose to be rich. So the thing, if you haven't been there before, you sit down and think that, oh, they cry that they have this, they cry, they can't sleep. They are always worried about how the money is going to do. It's not true. Do you know why? Because they have other people, they have poor people who are worried about their money for them. You think, what do you call it? Elon Musk goes around thinking about how he's going to protect his billions? No. He has broke people who will do that. He has a financial manager, he has an accountant who need to worry themselves over that, and he's paying them their fair share. His own goal is to look for new opportunities. That's why he can stand and say that multiplanetary life has to be multiplanetary. The guy is thinking about going to live on Mars. You know? So if you are thinking he can't sleep, then you are getting it wrong. He can sleep, and now he's fed up with the sleep on Earth, and he's thinking about how sleep on Mars is going to be. And that's his new agenda. And you are there thinking money is not good. You sit there. So please, let's get out of this outer darkness, from all the weeping and gnashing, and invest our monies. Invest. Find things that are going to yield profit. Don't sit on the cash, please. These are principles. And when the Bible talks about these things, sometimes there are things that are about prayer. You can get miracle money. It's good. Miracle money is good. But the question is, the Israelites in the wilderness, after God fed them manna, are they still eating manna today? So it means that after a while, the miracle money can come. But even that miracle money, if you don't invest it into something, after some time, the miracle money will not come again. So people of faith, God, He can rain money the same way He rained manna and quails. He can rain it. But it is for a period. That's what you need to understand. When you go to church and we are preaching and giving you all this motivation, my God will supply. And then the pastor is sweating. Oh, yes, I tap into this. It's beautiful, ain't it? But what you need to understand is that if God supplies, your responsibility is to invest the supply so that it will continue to supply. So he said that out of their bellies shall flow rivers of living water. He did not say stagnant. It will flow. So when he gives you, your responsibility is to multiply. So as for the prophecy, receive it. My God shall supply all my needs. You know how he does it? He breaks through. He gives you the opportunity and gives you the supply and sustenance that you need for a while. And your responsibility is to learn to manage it from there. If you fail to do that, then please, this one, I beg, don't blame God though. God, he hasn't done anything. He has helped you. He has opened the door. That's why there's YouTube. There are financial advisors. There are so many things. There are the bank. Because of this thing, you are just sitting there. You won't find out how do I multiply this? How do I take advantage of this situation? And then you are still sitting there. Keep sitting there and sit on your cash. A time will come. Time will come. And a time will come. So please, learn. In this world, I always motivate people. There is nothing you can't do if you want to do it. So if it is about investment, if it's about trading, everything, just humble yourself and ask somebody to teach you. Don't be too pompous. Calm down. Ask somebody, what do I invest in? Somebody who is succeeding. Of course. Don't go and ask another broke man for advice on money. Because if he knew how to make money, he will be rich. So look for the people. Look for the people who are doing the things that you need to do, who are where you want to be, and ask them questions. How do I invest this? If you want to start a business, awesome. Look for people who have started businesses. Learn from them a thing or two, the principles. Look for people, if you are trading, look for people who are doing well. Ask them to show you a thing or two. Learn. You're always studying. Because a little sleep, a little slumber. And what? Poverty will take you over. Oh, Solomon was wise. So, and one last secret I'll drop with you before I leave. One mentor of mine said that, you know what? If you want to be a very great and wealthy person, read a chapter of the book of Proverbs every day. This one is a free nugget. I'm telling you, I received it. But because I'm selfless like that, that's why I'm sharing it with you. Because honestly, if I become a billionaire and you can't assess me, don't blame me. So I'm showing you the things that I'm learning and the things that I know, so that I will not become the only billionaire. You will also become some. So that at least in future, if my jet is here, your jet will be there. Okay? That way, at least, if even we can't talk, we will meet at the airport. But if you come on social media and you are not getting me, don't go and, hey, no, it's because time is money. I don't have time to discuss with broke people. That's what it will simply mean. So let's take it seriously. The man told me, read a chapter of the book of Proverbs every day. Meditate on it. And I bet you, you will begin to get breakthrough ideas, big time business ideas. So if you want to be wise, this one free. Every day, pick a chapter of the book of Proverbs. Book of Proverbs is in the Bible. If you don't have a Bible, go and buy. Proverbs is here. Read a chapter every day. Learn wisdom, and you will be wealthy. You need wisdom to be wealthy. All right. My time is fast spent. I like talking on camera, so please forgive me. Meanwhile, if you are my friend, you know I don't talk like that. I hardly make time for conversations. So much. So many comments. Poverty is not how much you have in your pocket. It's about your mentality, your mindset. Yes. Thank you all for joining. See yourself as a steward. We'll render an account someday. Plenty money like that. Yes, so very wicked servant. Lord have mercy. 2 meaners, anti-meaners. Your name is unit of money. Yes, it is. You are money. You are working money. Ohiani stubborn proud. Yes. Ohiani with pride. Hey, after all this money given to you, Lord have mercy. Yeah. I am not okay. How are you not okay? Money doesn't like rough. Laziness with excuses. Instead of learning from rich people, we speak evil about them. Yes. Humility and grace, gratitude, Africa MBA and PhD. So that thing is dangerous. Whatever you appreciate, you get more. What you don't celebrate, you don't get. Appreciation is the application for more. Definitely. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Wow. So I know and thank you. This one, Mr. Harrison is doing my job for me for free. God bless him. Yes, so it's actually the truth, But the problem is that people, they don't buy these things. When I came, if I was prophesying, I mentioned, hey, Grace, when I entered, the Lord says this, the Lord says this. You see how many people will tag their friends to come. Maybe they will get their prophecy. You wicked and adulterous generation, seeking after signs and wonders. That's what Jesus said. So in our lives and in our world, all we are looking for is prophecy from this prophecy that we don't want to use common sense. And the things that have been given to us in the Bible, the prophecies are good though. I'm not condemning prophecy, but it makes people lazy. Anyway, a little sleep, a little slumber. Someone won't let me be with this scripture. I can't rest more. You shouldn't rest. Exactly. Wow. A chapter from the book of Proverbs. I will do that. Yes, please make sure you do that. Every day, read a chapter from the book of Proverbs. Kobe is reading Proverbs already. I see why Pastor Francis bought it for him. He said it changed his own life. Exactly. It will. It's a good thing that he's learning from the book of Proverbs. So please, let's try our best. And thank you for making it a point. If you watch Walk with God today, Mula did a fantastic job, and they are having a program, 24th, which is supposed to be today, I suppose. Yes. So make sure that you are following him on Instagram, at least because I know it's late, you might not be able to make it to the program, but at least you can watch it on social media. So please follow him on Instagram and make sure that you are benefiting from these programs. We build ourselves spiritually, and then we also come and learn financially. Money is good if you don't have it. Don't sometimes if you are poor, you sit down and say all sorts of things. What don't make sense. But don't mix your opinions and everything about life based on your lack of money, because you'll be only looking through a very myopic lens. In fact, your lens is broken and shattered. You can be very wealthy and still be super anointed. Hey, such people, the way they are beautiful. If you haven't seen one, go and look for Bishop Oyedepo and all those people. They are beautifully rich, both in their pocket and in the Lord. And that is what I wish for you. So I pray that the peace of God and his illumination would be with us, and we'll meet again tomorrow for Gospel City. You don't want to miss Gospel City tomorrow. And so it's been Hannah Harrison. Thank you for joining me, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Until then, let me sign out.